Before we start, I'm not trying to expose the GIOVERSE. I simply want to put forth as much information so you guys can make your own decision and you can form your own opinion rather than just following my word or his word or anything else that might be on the outside trying to influence your thoughts. I'm going to present all the evidence that I have for both sides, and I'm going to do it in a non-biased and impartial way, to the best of my ability. My second goal is going to be to raise awareness for the community surrounding the GIOVERSE, because his fans are not the best people. I want to make a quality video for you all to enjoy. I've spent hours editing this. I've spent a long time doing voiceovers. I've written scripts for this. I'm reading off one right now. That was ad-libbed. With all that being said, I now present to you Into the GIOVERSE. The GIOVERSE is a 28,000 subscriber channel. They upload videos of mostly Beyblade battles. I've seen some unboxings on here. Nothing too out of the ordinary for any Beyblade YouTuber. You got the very clickbait titles. You got some interesting thumbnails. Very, very interesting. It's pretty standard as far as Beyblade YouTube goes. So why did this happen? What caused a channel like this one to lose so many fans over a short period of time?
Message for everybody that's saying that I lied about the reproduction of Do Uranus and other Beyblades that I was saying I was going to reproduce. Because I don't have Reddit, but I see people on my server sending me things of people talking bad about me on Reddit. And it's kind of ridiculous. You're saying I'm lying and I'm doing this for free promotion, even though I didn't post this on Reddit. I've only posted this on announcements on my Discord server. That's it. So the fact that you're gonna sit there and say that I'm getting free promotion and attention, bro, I worked hard on my Discord server, so if I have an idea, I'm gonna announce it to my community. All right? So I don't know what you're talking about. Stop. This is really unprofessional, unnecessary. Why would you say these things about me? It's kind of ridiculous. Come on, how old are you, bro? So no, I did not lie. It's very simple, actually. Nobody else did it, but I'm gonna do it. It's not that hard. I have a friend that owns a factory. It's as simple as this. I save up money for the mode, which I'm still doing, by the way. It's pretty expensive. Once I have the mode, I reproduced a lot of the product and then I sell it on my store. So I would really appreciate if you guys can stop saying nonsense and, you know, spreading fake news about me. Like, you guys don't know what you're talking about, okay? God bless you guys. Peace.
This is a response that Gio made to people on Reddit calling him out for not delivering on a promise he made in his Discord server, where he allegedly has already acquired the mold for Duo Uranus, and I think J Jupiter was the other one. Both of which are really expensive to get authentically, by the way. Now, he claims to be able to produce these because his friend owns a factory. Despite the fact that that's giving some my dad works at Nintendo vibes, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt here. And like let's just say, for the sake of his argument, that he does have a friend that owns a factory, and that he has been saving up money for almost a full year to buy a mold that you can easily make yourself without having to spend money on it. You can easily find a ROM of like a Beyblade DS game. You can pull the Bcrest file out of that with every file explorer. You can turn it into an OBJ file. You can put it into a 3D printer software. You can print it out. You can throw it in some clay. You can cast your whatever the fuck you're making it out of into that clay mold that you just made in-house, baby. And you can then start using that Beyblade for whatever nefarious purposes you see fit. Because I think it was owned by a bad guy. I don't know who the fuck this dude is. So now I have to question the intellect, because everything that I like, the 3D printer is gonna cost you $200 to $300 maybe, like for a decent one. If it takes you longer than 7 months to save up $200 to $300, you don't belong buying some kind of mold that's even more expensive than that. Because if it's one mold, what are you gonna do? What kind of factorial machine are you gonna use to print all these Beyblades? I can't find one on the internet that exists. It doesn't make sense. Geo has yet to reply to the next bit of controversy. In this thread, a customer who has purchased some Beyblades from Geo claims to have not received both booster packs that he ordered. No booster packs. The response is, "Hey brother, thanks for your patience. What's your order number?" The man then sends his order number, and the response is, "Oh, I see. Okay. We must have not send the 2X. I apologize, bro." It then goes on to display a message that can't really be read, and we then get the customer's response, where he says, "So, can I get the other one I paid for?" And then we see it. "Don't worry, the next time you order, we'll slip it into the package for you." Meaning that you are paywalling a product that this person already paid money for. "We'll slip it into your next order. Just let me know when you place it." And this poor dude, at this point in time, still has yet to realize that he's talking to an asshole. Cool. Do I gotta send my address again? And we just double down and say, "We'll slip it into your next order. Just let me know when you place it." That is the best customer service that I've ever seen. I don't know about y'all, but that is some grade A, fresh, steamy, right out the cow ass bullshit. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. Now, if this dude wanted to even be a little bit responsible for his actions, I'm assuming he doesn't want to send it right away because he doesn't want to take a loss on shipping, which, if you would have done it correctly in the first place, you wouldn't have to. That should be the price you pay for fucking up. It's just a shipping cost that can't mean that much to you. Regardless, though, this dude just never gets his product. Never. He just takes a loss on that. I don't know if he ever ordered again from the Bayverse. Personally, I wouldn't have. I would have, like, threatened legal action or some shit. I think you can do that if you have a receipt for the product that you didn't receive. I'm sure you have a case there. But this has been the most alarming example of him scamming people. And he has yet to reply to this. Like I said, there is no response from him on this matter, and I doubt there's going to be, because it's pretty damning. The evidence here is stacked against him. I don't personally see a way out of that where you can just fail to address it and move on. Let's move on to Gio's affinity in Catholicism. Now, Gio is proudly Catholic, which there is nothing wrong with. I have no issue with him being Catholic, and I think that all people have the freedom and right to practice whatever religion they want. That includes not practicing a religion. Okay? With that out of the way, here we have some Reddit posts describing Gio to whomstever was. I tried finding the full screenshot of this. I can't seem to locate it. But someone said, "Who even is Gio?" or something along those lines. The explanation is a strange Baytuber who tries to mix his religious beliefs into his Beyblade channel. He also has a second channel where he does alpha male style content. Well then, back to this, not to mention his online Beyblade shop where he's robbing customers by charging excessive amounts for mid-fakes. For those of you that don't know, a mid-fake Beyblade is one that is of higher quality, but is also not Takaratomi produced. A mid-fake Beyblade is something that you can still use without it being as shitty as these Chinese sweatshop Beyblades that a lot of people sell online. And you don't really have to pay a whole lot of money for an authentic one that's going to cost you a lot more than any toy should. So, he overprices those by a good bit. Now, if people have problems with their order, he makes them place another order before he can fix it. Where have we seen that before? So, the last line here pertains to his incredibly toxic Discord server. We will get to that. We will get to that very soon. In order to get more information regarding the Discord server before I was there, I interviewed someone named Red1. They were a mod on Gio's Discord server, and they have requested to remain anonymous. However, I have been given screenshots and other evidence supporting their claim that they were in fact a moderator on that server at some point in time. I'll wait for this to get started. Alright. First off, since you are going to be anonymous for this, can you quickly confirm that you have been in fact a moderator on Gio's server?
Yes, I can.
How long have you held that position in the GIOVERSE Discord?
Not very long. Compared to the other mods that have been under fire, especially with controversy recently. But I have been in the server for a while, and even before I joined, I've heard about the server from many others who have been longtime members, so I have a very good understanding of the server's, intricate workings, even before I was mod or a member.
Cool. Have you ever witnessed any other cases of poor behavior from Gio or his staff, or even other members?
Well, that certain people have. Some of it wasn't even always religion, but it was usually around religion.
I see. Did he make, religion a focal point in his Discord?
When it comes to his religious stance and invite towards people, and they would typically target those who identify in the LGBTQ or anyone of a different race too. Racism was also common, not as common as homophobia and transphobia, but it was still present. And although Gio himself never said publicly that he condoned this behavior, his non-existent presence, the fact that he was conveniently never around when one of his most trusted mods was acting homophobic, kind of brings up the idea that either he did secretly condone it, or he was just that negligent to where he didn't know about anything going on. And neither is a good look for a dude who has such a big platform as Gio.
This most trusted mod, was he around up until the mass exodus of the server after I was banned?
Remember correctly, he's been a very prevalent versus staff, and he's been consistently he's been this behavior for a while.
And can you tell me the username or tag that he used?
Hey, everyone knows him by Nuggy. He might change his name occasionally, but Nuggy has been his go-to name that everyone knows him by. Pretty recognizable with his Ryuga PFP, and he, especially in recent times, he more or less started clinging to the debate channel. He stopped becoming as active in the last few months, and he would only talk and debate, usually defending some take about the anime. But even despite only being in that one channel, he still found ways to exude his extreme homophobia and just unpleasantness. And he's made some very just flat out disgusting comments. I don't have the screenshot of it anymore, but at one point he did say that gay people would not get in heaven and that they were going to die.
Approximately for how long have you been observing messages like this from the moderator known as Nuggy?
I was saying he's very well known for just spewing random hate things, and although I don't have basically the entire time ever, he had a very something, he's just very openly homophobic, and he tries to use religion as a shield for that. And he'll try and make it sound like it's not a personal hatred, it's just he's Christian and gay people won't go to heaven, so it's nothing personal, but it's pretty obvious that he doesn't like gay people just by the way he acts around them and the stuff that he says around them, and he just kind of blatantly excuses any breaking of rules if the target is someone who's gay or in any way in the LGBTQ.
Do you have any information perchance regarding the scamming allegations that have been hurled towards Gio on Reddit?
Doesn't really talk about that process a lot, and so I don't have any. I've seen DMs of the dude talking, and he doesn't seem like the brightest bulb in the shed. And I don't want to make it seem like this is an attack on his character, because that's not what this is about, but when you're running a business, you need to be more careful and have better customer service. I do want to add, though, that even if this whole thing wasn't a purposeful scam, it's been pretty well known for a while that his store Bayverse does overprice mid-fakes by a lot. In fact, they're pretty much doubled in price.
Alright, and I think that'll about do it.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Through the interview, we were able to learn that not only was Gio using his religious beliefs as a shield for the less than satisfactory attitude towards members of the LGBTQ community, but one of his moderators, who has infamously been outlandish and childish and abusive in the way he talks, and even excuses rule breaking if the offended target is of the LGBTQ plus community. Now, real quickly, before we look at this first piece of evidence, I want to note that I personally have no bias against the Catholic religion. I think that you have the freedom to practice whatever religion you want to. That includes if your choice is to not to practice a religion. Now, in this screenshot, we see either a commenter or a customer talking about how they're not supporting this fairy tale. Sorry. Now, before I get to Gio's response, I do not condone that. That is insanely disrespectful to call someone else's belief system that they live by a fairy tale. It was a childish comment to make. I'm not affiliated with this person. I don't find this person cool at all. So, in defense of Gio, that is not a comment that should ever be made. Okay, he is free to be Catholic, and who the hell are you to throw shade at his religion or what he believes? That's completely un-okay, and I don't want to see him get hate for being Catholic, because that you're just as bad as him at that point. Now, what I do want to see him get held accountable for is how he lets his religion dictate what he does online, because it is not pleasant. As you can see in this comment here, his response to this asshat it's a little dicey. Don't lie to yourself. You know God is real. Maybe you won't accept it because God doesn't agree with your lifestyle. What in the fuck do you mean by that? That's a little bit of a red flag, and I don't think it is incredibly difficult to see why. So, I'm not gonna assume anything that is outlandish to assume, but let's look at a few things here. This person's PFP, we're gonna call them Asshole McButtface for now. Asshole McButtface's PFP has a transgender flag in the background. Okay? Now, if you're gonna sit here in 2024 and have beef with people because they're trans, because they're different from you in any other aspect, you is a dumbass. Respectfully. Their lifestyle has nothing to do with yours. Just as I defended you from them, calling your belief system a fairy tale, I now have to defend them from you because you are being a transphobe. Aren't you? Is that not the lifestyle we're talking about here? Because why else would you type that? But hey, this is one isolated incident, okay? Maybe this is a one-time thing that he said because he lashed out because this person offended him, which is okay, I can understand that. Maybe it's a one-time ordeal. It was not a one-time ordeal. Not by a long shot. Not even a little bit. Holy fuck. Holy mother of God, Gio. Now, in this post, he claims to be banning words at the bottom of it, and I'm going to give you the full context. But that's not matching up, because he's telling this dude to try them. So you're currently promoting homophobia to your likely underage fan base. I'm trying to think of a way to defend this, because I'm really trying to play devil's advocate for here. Okay? I gave you the benefit of the doubt in the first chapter. I gave you the benefit of the doubt on the second chapter. What in the fuck are you doing here? Like, what is going on? If you were really trying to ban words, this should be done in a private channel. You go to a private channel, you don't at somebody, okay, and start going off. Oh my god, my fucking brain hurts. And I have evidence to prove that these words weren't fucking banned. At least the two gigantic ones weren't, that we're looking at up here. At least those two aren't banned, because I have been called, boom, right there, there I am. There I go, right there, that is me. And that is a moderator using the same slur against me. Because I'm calling them out for being weird and sending links to pornography Discord servers to people that are most likely underaged in a fucking Beyblade Discord server. You fucking creeps. Oh my god. So, clearly you weren't banning words. Obviously, that hasn't happened. Now, whether he can say that just because he's a mod is a completely different issue, but I'm gonna go with the more likely of the two and say that, okay, here's your benefit of the doubt again for the third time. Maybe you were banning those words, getting a funny reaction from it from your fans, getting praise for it because people think you're being goofy, right? Suggesting words to other people. I needed a minute to compose myself there. So, let's say the only reason that Nuggy, who we'll get to again later, can type these words is because they are in fact a moderator on your server. Let's go with that, okay? Why the fuck is a moderator allowed to bypass your language filter? I'll wait for you to get back to me on that one, okay? Now, Gio's not the only one who has been seen being completely openly homophobic. His community, the people that call themselves part of the GIOVERSE, his fans, the people that worship his bullshit on YouTube, they're about 100 times worse than he is. And it's not even close. So, real quick, I'm going to defend him for the last time in this video. Alright, Gio, this is me, your attorney right now, not the prosecution on the other side. You are not responsible for what your fans do. And I am not going to attack Gio for what his fans do. However, and this is a big however, a huge but, if you will, he has been seen encouraging it. As you can see in the previous screenshot, he is actively encouraging these words. So, now I'm getting to a point where I need to assess things a little bit differently. Because where, no, he is not responsible for the words that come out of people's mouth. Because at the end of the day, it's their decision. Alright? And I'll respectfully take the L on that small little battle there. Okay, he's not putting words into people's mouths and sticking his hand up their ass and puppeting them. That's completely understood. But you're using your platform very irresponsibly by acting like this is okay. I conducted one more interview with a former moderator known as Nukem. Nukem is probably the closest person to Gio I could have possibly gotten. Now, he has a pretty solid relationship with Gio. Gio has invited this person over to his house. Alright, these two were good friends at a time. And honestly, I hope they continue to be good friends. But in this interview, I get a lot of information that is somewhat alarming. Not so much to the fact that it's more evidence about Geo being homophobic, because, we don't really need more of that. Alright, from someone that knew him personally, apparently he wasn't always like this. To start off, if you would like to introduce yourself and give your position in the server, I can start the recording there.
Okay. Hello, my name is Nukem. I have been a server mod for Geo for the last year and a half. Recently resigned about 2 weeks ago.
Alright.
I used to be one of Geo's closest mods. Recently, though, not as much communication towards both of our ends, but nonetheless, when I was communicating and I was socializing with everybody, I was one of the more uh, active ones. But recently, not anymore.
Alright, cool. Have you ever witnessed cases of inappropriate behavior by the server owner, staff, or other members?
Yes, I have multiple times.
Alright,
There was an incident.
go ahead.
Uh, there was an incident once where I had to back. There was like a bunch of inappropriate talking regarding just claims about certain. Well, I'm trying to word this out properly. My apologies if I'm kind of stuttering.
No, you're good.
Uh, there was a part that is like one of my more vivid ones was that there was a couple people that are no longer in that server. They were just like making some rash inappropriate comments that it was leading on to like a whole argument in the server. This was probably like I would say about a year ago. And when I went to address it to the mods and to Geo himself, uh, some of them were saying W's, like for the people that were talking all the inappropriate stuff. And then Geo himself, when I mentioned like, hey, like this is an issue that we need to resolve because otherwise it's gonna look bad. He's like, I don't see the problem with this. And like, what do you mean you don't see the problem? And everyone was like saying, yeah, this is not really a big issue, and making it seem like it was light. So after that, that was like one of the moments where I'm like, okay, so this is what I'm kind of dealing with, and I rather just not uh, put anything towards that anymore because at the end of the day, I would be in a lose competition or lose situation.
A Discord user that went by the name of Nuggy. Can you tell me more about his position on the server?
It was I would say, as best as my knowledge, a co-owner of the server, pretty much, because he was there from like the beginning, and like the original mods. From day one that I knew him, I always knew he was like not always knew, but like I always had a weird feeling regarding him and how he would respond. He was more the more communicative people in the server, which had everyone like respecting him, trying to make sure that he was like one of the greats. But what I knew from the beginning when I first started being a mod was that he was unhinged and that he was able to use his power to control certain situations in the server. Now, whether that be good situations or whether that be bad situations, uh, it was always an issue that I saw when I first joined. If I were to bring it back up, the message and the conversation I had with Geo before I was a mod, I was there was an issue that was happening with a previous mod owner, or not mod, a previous mod that left due to bad blood or bad communication or whatever it was that eventually led to him hate harass us, um, which I'll explain that later. But Nuggy would not care, and instead he would make remarks that would justify inappropriate or bad actions rather than stopping bad or inappropriate actions. And every time that we would address it, it would not be done anything done about it.
That sucks. So, this was good to get information from someone as close as Geo. The last person I interviewed did not have Geo held in such a high regard, so I think this is the best method to get your words and his words and see if I can somehow pull the truth out of the middle of it. Alright, I think that's just about every question I need answered. Do you have any other comments about any of these people that you want to make before we wrap it up?
Well, I think the only comment I will make is his decision on his current mods is not really ethical. I feel like he was just pushing to do new mods just to do new mods, and he returned one mod that would always complain that nothing would change, and now he's back as a mod. Really irks me in a way, which is why I told Geo, and I when I communicated with Geo in private, I was like, what you're doing regarding your mod situation is super childish. I feel like he could have put that situation better, and especially when he kept a mod named Warrior, which I love Warrior, by the way. Don't get me wrong, he's a great dude, and from what I've had conversation with him, I wish him nothing but the best. But if he's going to push his word on, I'm gonna change everything. Don't keep a mod that doesn't even want to talk in Geo's chat no more, and now the only reason why he's still a mod is because now with Nuggy being gone, he's able to communicate better. No, that's the only remark I would say. Like he would like the way that I saw him approach his mod situation. Uh, I have communicated with Geo behind the scenes, so like I said, I only wish that he keeps his word and that he's able to do what he says and that he's claiming that he's going to do. Otherwise, I just don't see nothing in returning. I said I'll give Geo a month and to see how things are. I still want to keep a decent relationship with Gio because I really don't want to hate on him. Because I know that he put himself in a bad situation, and I think me and him kind of have the same viewpoint on things now, on how me and him see things. So all I would say is I hope that he's able to keep his word on what he addressed with me, that he will do. And that's pretty much about it. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I know he hasn't been saying anything in his videos, so maybe he can make a statement, at least one statement, so people could stop calling him a scammer. But I don't see that happening, so I just wish for the best for it, or for him at least.
Alright, man, that's gonna just about do it. Thank you so much for your time.
Nah, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what you bring out, what the pot is cooking.
Thanks. With everything starting to become more clear on what exactly happened, I now have 3 different people putting out information about the character Nuggy. Now, this person honestly seems about 100 times as bad as Geo is. I see no redeeming qualities for either of them, don't get me wrong. I mean, the least you could say about Geo is that he did a few giveaways, and despite kind of pressuring religion onto people, you can still look at that as like a charitable work. With Nuggy, on the other hand, there is absolutely nothing worth saving. This dude, and I mean this with the utmost respect and love and hopes for prosperity for you in the future, my man, this dude's a piece of dog shit. This dude is an absolute piece of dog shit, going out of his way to excuse rule breaking as long as it's harmful to people who identify as queer, throwing slurs around because he thinks it's cool. He's openly oppressive, he's openly hateful, he's openly a piece of dog shit, he openly huffs pubic hairs, he's an asshat. He's just an all-around miserable piece of shit. I don't see any reason why anybody would want to talk to him unless you're equally as stupid. But, everybody, with that being said, I do really hope you enjoyed this video. I would like to thank Nukem, I would like to thank Red1 very much for the interviews. I had to cut a good bit out of them because I was getting pressed for time here. This documentary is over half an hour long at this point, and I worked on it for the better part of 2 weeks. And now that we are at the end, happy Pride Month. It is currently, is the 8th? It's June 8th right now. I started this last month, and it's taken me 8 days into this one to actually come to a final conclusion. So, there's 3 things that Gio needs to do if he wants to come back from this. He needs to openly apologize and admit that he was wrong for his religious zealousy and his homophobia. He needs to right all the wrongs with the Bayverse and the scamming allegations. And he needs to moderate that Discord server better. Alright? If he can do those 3 things, I see no reason why he can't continue to make content and become loved by all once again. But right now, it looks bad, and it looks like he has way too much pride to admit that he was ever wrong.